The impact of a pure heart radiates outward, touching everyone you encounter. When you possess a heart that is free from malice, free from selfishness, and unburdened by negativity, that purity creates a ripple effect in the world around you. People can sense authenticity, sincerity, and goodness even in a world that is often full of complexity and distrust. A pure heart doesn't just benefit the person who holds it, it transforms their environment and influences the way others respond to them. It's through this purity that you can begin to make a real and lasting difference in the lives of others. The way a person with a pure heart interacts with the world is different because they lead with kindness, humility, and compassion. When you approach life from a place of purity, you do not act out of the need to impress or gain something in return. You act because it is the right thing to do. You offer help not because you expect recognition or reward, but because your heart leads you to care about the well-being of others. This type of selflessness is powerful because it provides a kind of guidance for others who may be lost in their own pursuits or struggling with their own challenges. When you show others what it means to act from a pure heart, you create a space where goodness and kindness can grow. Your actions become a beacon, a model of what a compassionate, genuine existence looks like. Moreover, the impact of a pure heart is not always immediate or dramatic. Sometimes it's the small, everyday acts of kindness that leave the deepest impression. Whether it's a smile given to a stranger, a word of encouragement for someone who is struggling, or a gesture of support in a difficult moment, the purity of your heart shows through in these simple interactions. These seemingly minor actions accumulate over time, spreading positivity and warmth wherever you go. The power of these acts is amplified because they come from a place of authenticity and genuine care. When you approach others with an open heart, you leave a lasting impact, one that extends far beyond any material gift or grand gesture. A pure heart also has the capacity to heal. Many of us walk through life carrying wounds, emotional scars, past hurts, and deep-seated pains. While it's true that time and healing are needed to fully overcome these wounds, the compassion and empathy that come from a pure heart have a unique way of helping others heal. When you are genuinely kind, non-judgmental, and accepting, it allows others to feel seen and heard in a way they may not have before. People feel safe around those who have a pure heart because they know they will not be met with criticism or rejection. Instead, they are welcomed with understanding and love. This ability to make others feel safe, valued, and worthy of care is a powerful force that can help rebuild trust and restore hope in relationships and communities. Additionally, in addition to shaping how you interact with others, the purity of your heart guides your response to challenges. Life is filled with obstacles, hardships, and difficult moments, but when you face them with a pure heart, you respond differently than you would if your heart was filled with anger, resentment, or fear. Instead of reacting impulsively or with bitterness, a pure heart pushes you to respond with patience, understanding, and perseverance. When you face challenges from a place of purity, you do not seek to harm others or make them suffer because you are suffering. Instead, you recognize that struggles are a part of life, and you approach them with the mindset of learning and growth. A pure heart is not easily swayed by frustration or negativity, but remains grounded in a sense of purpose, love, and resilience. Another crucial aspect of a pure heart is its ability to forgive. Forgiveness is one of the most powerful actions that come from a heart that is not burdened by hatred or anger. When your heart is pure, you are able to forgive others, even when they have wronged you. This doesn't mean that you condone their actions or ignore the pain they caused you, but rather that you are willing to release the negative emotions that tie you to them. A pure heart understands that holding on to anger or resentment only harms the person holding on to it, not the one who caused the hurt. Forgiveness is a form of liberation, freeing yourself from the weight of past hurts and allowing yourself to heal. When you forgive, you not only free others, but also free yourself from the shackles of negative emotions, enabling your heart to remain pure and open. Living with a pure heart also means being honest with yourself. It requires introspection, self-awareness, and the courage to face your own flaws and imperfections. It's easy to point fingers at others or to criticize the world around you, but a pure heart begins by looking inward. It is about acknowledging your own weaknesses, mistakes, and areas where you need to grow. When you are honest with yourself, you can begin to understand what motivates you, what drives your decisions, and where you need to improve. This level of self-honesty is essential for personal growth and development, as it allows you to address the areas in your life that may be clouding your heart. The purity of your heart is not something that is achieved once and for all. It is something that requires continuous effort, reflection, and growth. In a world that often prioritizes success, achievement, and outward appearances, living with a pure heart can be a challenge. It can be difficult to remain true to your values when the world around you encourages shortcuts, deception, or the pursuit of self-interest. However, the beauty of living with a pure heart is that it brings its own rewards. A pure heart allows you to experience a sense of inner peace and fulfillment that cannot be found through external success or validation. It enables you to build meaningful relationships, to contribute positively to the world, and to face life's challenges with resilience and grace. It is through your actions, guided by the purity of your heart, that you create a life of true significance. The purity of your heart shapes everything you do, from how you treat others to how you face adversity. It influences your choices, your relationships, and your sense of self. Living with a pure heart requires consistent effort, honesty, and self-awareness. It means making decisions based on what is right, not what is easy. It is not a static state, but a constant practice, a journey of aligning your actions with your values and growing in your ability to love, forgive, and act with integrity. A pure heart is the foundation of a meaningful life, one that is guided by compassion, honesty, and a commitment to doing good in the world. Your heart's purity guides your actions. A pure heart is often described as one that is free from malice, deceit, or selfishness. It is a heart that is untainted by the bitterness of past wounds or the bitterness of envy, and it operates with the intention of doing good, regardless of the circumstances. But a pure heart isn't just about being innocent or naive. It's about having an inner moral compass that directs your actions toward kindness, compassion, and integrity. When your heart is pure, it influences everything you do. It shapes the way you treat others, how you face challenges, and how you navigate the world. A pure heart is not just a passive state of being, but an active force that guides your actions and decisions in every aspect of your life. When you operate from a place of purity, your intentions are clear. The motivation behind your actions is transparent, not driven by selfish desires or hidden agendas. People who live with pure hearts are not motivated by the desire for recognition, wealth, or power. Instead, they are motivated by a deep desire to help others, to act in accordance with their values, and to contribute to the greater good. The purity of your heart shapes your approach to the world. It pushes you to do what is right, even when there are no immediate rewards. This kind of integrity is rare and invaluable because it comes from a place of selflessness and sincerity. It is not tainted by the need for validation or external acknowledgement, but is driven by an internal sense of what is just and right. A pure heart also influences the way you interact with people. When your heart is pure, you see others for who they truly are, beyond the surface level. You do not judge people based on their appearance, status, or past mistakes. Instead, you approach them with empathy and understanding, seeing their potential, their struggles, and their humanity. A pure heart recognizes the shared experience of being human and seeks to build connections based on mutual respect and compassion. This doesn't mean that you ignore faults or avoid confrontation when necessary, but rather that you approach each interaction with a sense of kindness and fairness. When you operate from a place of purity, your actions are not motivated by the desire to hurt or manipulate others. Instead, you seek to build others up, to support them, and to treat them with dignity, regardless of who they are or where they come from. Purpose also helps you to align your actions with your deepest values. It forces you to reflect on what truly matters to you and to make choices that are consistent with those values. When you live without purpose, it's easy to get caught up in the expectations of others or in the pursuit of things that ultimately do not bring you lasting fulfillment. But living with purpose allows you to focus on what truly matters. You begin to prioritize the things that bring you joy, fulfillment, and a sense of contribution to the world. Whether it's your work, your relationships, or your hobbies, everything you do becomes infused with meaning and intention. Your actions no longer feel meaningless or disconnected, but are a reflection of who you are and what you stand for. Having a clear purpose also fosters resilience. Life is unpredictable, and setbacks are inevitable. At times, you will face challenges that seem insurmountable, and it may feel as though everything is working against you. But when you have a sense of purpose, you are better equipped to handle these challenges. Purpose gives you a sense of perspective and a deeper understanding that the difficulties you face are not the end of your journey, but simply a part of it. It helps you to see beyond the immediate obstacles and to focus on the bigger picture. With purpose, you are more likely to persevere through tough times, knowing that the difficulties you face are just stepping stones on your path to something greater. Resilience comes from the knowledge that there is meaning in the struggle and that each setback is an opportunity for growth. Living with purpose also invites a sense of fulfillment that cannot be found through external achievements or material possessions. In a world that often equates success with wealth, status, or fame, purpose offers a different kind of success, one that is rooted in internal satisfaction and alignment with your true self. When you live with purpose, you begin to find fulfillment in the journey itself, rather than in the destination. The pursuit of purpose transforms every step you take into an opportunity for growth, learning, and contribution. It shifts your focus from external validation to internal peace, helping you to find contentment not in what you have, but in who you are becoming. Ultimately, living with purpose transforms the way you approach every aspect of life. It shifts your focus from external pressures and fleeting desires to a deeper, more meaningful existence. When you live with purpose, you experience greater clarity, motivation, growth, and fulfillment. You become more resilient in the face of challenges, more discerning in your relationships, more aligned with your true self. Purpose is the foundation that holds everything together, giving your life the direction and strength it needs to thrive. Living with purpose transforms every aspect of your life. Purpose is what gives our lives direction, meaning, and strength. Without it, life can feel like a series of random events, lacking connection and clarity. But when you live with purpose, everything changes. Your actions become intentional. Your decisions are guided by a deeper understanding of who you are and what you stand for, and the challenges you face take on new meaning. Living with purpose allows you to navigate through life with a sense of direction and clarity, giving you the strength to endure hardship and the motivation to strive for something greater than yourself. Purpose provides a sense of focus. In a world filled with distractions, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters. We can become consumed with trivial concerns, constantly chasing after the next thing without ever taking a moment to pause and reflect on the bigger picture. But when you have a clear sense of purpose, you are able to filter out the noise and focus on what is most important. Your purpose acts as a guide, helping you make decisions that are aligned with your values and goals. It helps you stay on track even when external circumstances try to pull you in different directions. With purpose, you know where you are going, and you are less likely to be swayed by the superficial distractions that surround you. Living with purpose also brings clarity to your relationships. When you are clear about what you want and who you want to be, it becomes easier to build meaningful connections with others. Purpose allows you to connect with people who share your values, who understand and support your goals, and who are on a similar path to growth and fulfillment. It helps you create relationships that are rooted in authenticity rather than superficiality. You no longer settle for relationships that drain you or hold you back. Instead, you seek out those that lift you up, that challenge you, and that help you grow. Living with purpose gives you the discernment to recognize which relationships align with your vision for your life and which ones do not. Moreover, purpose brings motivation. Life can be difficult, and there will inevitably be times when you feel tired, discouraged, or ready to give up. During these moments, it is easy to lose sight of why you are even trying. However, when you have a strong sense of purpose, it becomes the driving force that keeps you going, even when things get tough. Purpose gives you a reason to wake up each morning, even when the road ahead seems uncertain or difficult. It provides the energy and passion you need to overcome obstacles and stay focused on your goals. With purpose, you find the strength to keep moving forward, even in the face of adversity, because you know that what you are doing is meaningful and worth the effort. Living with purpose also encourages growth. It forces you to ask important questions about who you are, what you value, and what you want to contribute to the world. These reflections are essential for personal growth and self-discovery. When you live with purpose, you are constantly learning and evolving. You are not content to remain stagnant, but are always striving to become the best version of yourself. Purpose pushes you to step outside of your comfort zone, to take risks, and to embrace the challenges that will help you grow. It encourages you to expand your boundaries and to reach for something greater. Through this growth, you develop greater confidence in yourself and your abilities, knowing that you are actively shaping your future, making a difference. The act of standing firm in your values also allows you to cultivate a life of integrity. Integrity is not something you can simply claim. It must be demonstrated through your actions. When you stand firm in your values, you are actively living out the principles that you hold dear. Each decision you make, every choice you confront, is an opportunity to reinforce the integrity that is the foundation of your character. By consistently making choices that align with your values, you not only prove to yourself that you are capable of living authentically, but you also earn the respect and trust of those around you. Integrity is not just about being honest or trustworthy. It's about living in accordance with the principles that define you, even when it's difficult, even when no one is watching. It is also important to recognize that standing firm in your values does not mean rigidly holding on to them without room for growth. Being set apart means being willing to question, to reflect, and to evolve as you learn more about yourself and the world around you. It's not about being dogmatic or inflexible, but about having the strength to hold on to your values while remaining open to new perspectives and experiences. The process of standing firm in your values involves continuously refining them, understanding them more deeply, and allowing them to guide you as you navigate the complexities of life. At times, the decision to stand firm in your values will put you at odds with those you love or respect. People may criticize you, reject your views, or accuse you of being stubborn or inflexible. This is the reality of living authentically, and it can be painful. But it is essential to remember that when you stand firm in your values, you are not doing so to prove a point or to make others uncomfortable. You are simply living in alignment with the deepest truths of who you are. You are choosing to honor yourself, your beliefs, and your convictions, and in doing so, you create the space for others to do the same. It is through this commitment to integrity that you encourage others to reflect on their own values and to live with authenticity and purpose. The world needs people who are willing to stand firm in their values, people who are not afraid to go against the tide and make difficult decisions based on what they believe to be right. These individuals are the ones who create meaningful change, who inspire others to live with courage and integrity, and who shape the course of history. By standing firm in your values, you don't just create a life of meaning and fulfillment for yourself. You contribute to a greater collective purpose. You lead by example, showing others that it is possible to live authentically, to embrace your uniqueness, and to stand firm in your beliefs, despite the challenges and opposition you may face. Being set apart means more than just standing alone. It means living with a sense of purpose, a commitment to your values, and the strength to stay true to who you are. It is through this steadfastness that you find your greatest strength, not in pleasing others or fitting in, but in remaining true to yourself and the principles that guide your life. Being set apart means standing firm in your values in a world that is often marked by conformity and pressure to fit in. Being set apart is both a blessing and a challenge. It means that you have chosen to live by a different set of principles, guided not by the expectations of the crowd, but by the conviction in your own heart. This choice requires tremendous strength and resilience, as it often means swimming against the current, standing in contrast to those around you, and making decisions that may not always be understood or appreciated by others. Yet, it is in these moments of standing firm in your values that you reveal the essence of your character and the depth of your commitment to a higher purpose. To be set apart is to reject the notion that your worth is determined by the opinions or actions of others. It is a commitment to live authentically, even when that means deviating from the norm or embracing paths that others might see as unconventional. This is not about rebellion for the sake of rebellion, but about recognizing that your values and beliefs are not subject to popular opinion or external pressure. When you stand firm in your values, you are not simply making a statement about what you believe, but about who you are. You are signaling to the world that you are not willing to compromise your integrity for the sake of fitting in or gaining approval. However, standing firm in your values is not always easy. The world can be relentless in its demands and expectations, often pressuring you to conform or to take shortcuts that compromise your principles. It's easy to fall into the trap of seeking approval from others, especially when those around you are living according to different standards. There may be times when you feel isolated, when you question whether it's worth it to stay true to your beliefs in the face of so much opposition. But it is in these very moments that the true strength of your character is tested. Choosing to stand firm in your values, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it feels like you're standing alone, is the act that defines your authenticity. It is this willingness to choose integrity over conformity that sets you apart and empowers you to lead a life of purpose. When you choose to live according to your values, you also open yourself up to a life of deeper fulfillment. Living authentically means aligning your actions with your beliefs. And there is no greater satisfaction than knowing that what you do, say, and believe are in harmony. This alignment creates an inner peace that cannot be shaken by external circumstances or the opinions of others. When you live with authenticity, you no longer have to worry about the pressure to impress or conform because you are already at peace with who you are. Though your identity is no longer defined by the expectations of others, but by your own understanding of what is right and true. Adversity also brings with it the opportunity for profound growth. When things are easy, it's easy to be complacent, to coast along without really growing or evolving. But when faced with a challenge, we are forced to change, to adapt, and to evolve. It's through overcoming obstacles that we discover our own resilience and capacity for transformation. Struggles don't just reveal who we are, they reveal who we can become. The obstacles we face in life are not just roadblocks. They are opportunities to become stronger, more compassionate, and more aligned with our highest values. When we choose to grow through adversity, we transform it into something that not only reveals our heart, but refines it. Struggles also offer us the chance to practice humility. When we are faced with challenges that are beyond our control, we are reminded of our limitations. It's easy to believe that we are invincible or self-sufficient when things are going smoothly, but life's hardships remind us of our vulnerability and the need for support, grace, and patience. Humility is not about diminishing ourselves, but about recognizing our place in the larger context of life. It is about understanding that no matter how strong we believe ourselves to be, we are all interconnected and dependent on others in various ways. The humility we cultivate in times of struggle can deepen our connection to others and strengthen our understanding of what truly matters in life. In some ways, life's struggles are a gift, though they may not seem so at first. They give us the opportunity to test our values, to confront our deepest fears, and to clarify the direction of our lives. The way we handle adversity reveals the nature of our hearts, and it is this process of revelation and growth that ultimately shapes who we are. When we emerge from hardship, we are not the same person who entered it. We are stronger, more compassionate, and more deeply aligned with the core of our being. The struggles we face may not always be easy, but they are essential to our growth and to the revelation of our true selves. Through hardship, we learn not only who we are, but who we are meant to become. Life's struggles reveal the true nature of your heart. In the smooth, untroubled times of life, it's easy to think of ourselves as being capable, strong and composed. We may feel in control, confident, and capable of handling anything that comes our way. But it is not in the easy moments that our true character is tested. It is when we face struggles, pain, and adversity that we are truly confronted with who we are at our core. These struggles have a way of stripping away the distractions, the masks, and the facades we put up in everyday life, forcing us to confront the deepest parts of ourselves. It is through these moments of difficulty that the true nature of our hearts is revealed. When life is going well, it can be easy to get swept up in the superficial aspects of existence, the small victories, the fleeting pleasures, the things that society tells us we should chase after. We can become distracted by success, approval, and comfort. But none of these external things really define us. It is only when we are tested by hardship, whether through personal loss, disappointment, failure, or struggle, that we begin to see the authentic nature of our hearts. The response we have in times of difficulty shows us what we are truly made of, what we truly care about, and what we really believe in. Struggles have a way of exposing what lies beneath the surface. When everything is going well, it's easy to present ourselves as calm, kind, and collected. But when we face a crisis, a challenge, or a period of suffering, that's when our true responses emerge. Do we react with grace, resilience, and compassion, or do we become bitter, angry, and defensive? The way we respond to hardship shows us what we are truly made of. It's in those moments of pain and challenge that we learn what values we truly hold dear. If we choose patience, forgiveness, and perseverance, we can be assured that our hearts are pure and aligned with higher principles. If we choose anger, resentment, and escape, then we can see that there are parts of ourselves that still need healing and growth. One of the most revealing aspects of struggles is how they test our capacity for empathy and compassion. It is easy to show kindness when we're comfortable, when things are going well, and when others are doing the same for us. But what about when we are in pain? What about when we feel vulnerable or broken? It is in these moments that we have the opportunity to either grow in empathy or shrink away in self-centeredness. When we face challenges, we are given a chance to either close off from others or to open up in understanding. Do we push others away when we are suffering, or do we reach out to connect and support others who might be in similar pain? The way we handle our own struggles can either narrow or broaden our capacity to empathize with others. It is in hardship that we develop the ability to understand the suffering of those around us and offer them the same compassion we would hope to receive. Moreover, the struggles we face force us to evaluate our priorities and our attachments. In times of difficulty, the things that once seemed so important, money, success, status, often fall away. What we are left with are the things that truly matter: our relationships, our integrity, and our sense of purpose. Hardship has a way of clarifying what is truly important, helping us to reevaluate our goals and focus our energy on the things that will truly bring us fulfillment. If we can navigate struggles without losing sight of what really matters, we reveal the strength and clarity of our hearts. But if we become consumed with self-interest, fear, or the pursuit of temporary satisfaction, we show that our hearts are still trapped in illusions and distractions. An important aspect of integrity is that it is not situational. It's not about making the right choices in some circumstances and compromising in others. Integrity is about consistency, regardless of the environment or the situation. It's easy to be honest when the consequences are mild or when there's little to gain from dishonesty. But true integrity is demonstrated when you act according to your principles, even when it's uncomfortable, when there's something to lose, or when it's not in your immediate best interest. Integrity is about being the same person in private that you are in public, and it's about holding yourself accountable even when no one else is looking. This commitment to integrity is what allows you to trust yourself and to earn the trust of others. People who act with integrity are reliable and dependable because their actions are predictable. They align with their values regardless of the circumstances. This consistency builds a sense of security, both for yourself and for those around you. When you know that you can rely on yourself to do what's right, it fosters a deep sense of confidence and inner peace. When others know that they can trust you to be honest and true to your word, it strengthens your relationships and builds a foundation of mutual respect. Living with integrity also means accepting responsibility for your actions. It means owning up to your mistakes and learning from them, rather than shifting blame or avoiding accountability. Integrity requires the courage to admit when you're wrong, to apologize when necessary, and to make amends where possible. It's about holding yourself to a higher standard, not because you are perfect, but because you are committed to doing what is right, even in the face of your own shortcomings. The beauty of integrity lies in its simplicity. It's not a complex or elusive concept. It's about consistently choosing what is right, even when it's hard. It's about being true to yourself and to others, no matter the circumstances. Integrity is not an ideal to aspire to, but a choice to make every single day. It's a practice, a way of life that shapes who you are and who you become. And it's in the daily moments when you choose integrity over convenience that your character is built and your true strength is revealed. Integrity is not an ideal, but a daily choice. Integrity is often seen as a lofty ideal, something we aspire to but struggle to attain in our daily lives. People talk about integrity as if it's something you either have or you don't, as though it's a trait that only the most virtuous among us can embody. But integrity is not an abstract concept or a distant goal. It's a practice, a decision you make every single day. It's the small, seemingly insignificant choices you make when no one is watching, the decisions that define who you are when the stakes are low and when they're high. Integrity is about being true to your word, to your values, and to the principles that guide you, even when it's difficult or inconvenient. The misconception about integrity is that it's something you can achieve once and then hold on to indefinitely. In reality, integrity is a muscle that must be exercised consistently. It's not about having an innate sense of moral superiority or being free from flaws, but rather about having the self-discipline and awareness to choose what is right in every situation. Each decision, whether it's how you treat others, how you behave when faced with temptation, or how you confront your own weaknesses, shapes your integrity. And it's in those moments when the choice is between the easy path and the right path that your integrity is truly tested. The daily nature of integrity is what makes it so powerful. It's not about grand gestures or heroic acts, though those can certainly be expressions of integrity. Rather, it's in the quiet moments of life when you're faced with choices that may seem insignificant, that integrity reveals its true strength. For example, when no one is looking and you have the opportunity to cut corners, you make the choice to do the right thing. When you're frustrated and tempted to lash out, you pause and choose patience instead. When you're offered an easy way out, you stand firm in your commitment to honesty and authenticity. These daily decisions, though they may seem small, build the foundation of your character over time. Each time you act with integrity, you reinforce the person you are becoming. In a world that often seems to reward shortcuts, manipulation, and self-interest, choosing integrity is a radical act. Society frequently values results over the means by which they are achieved. There's a tendency to overlook dishonesty or unethical behavior if it leads to success, wealth, or power. But the true cost of compromising your integrity is much greater than any temporary gain you may achieve. When you sacrifice your principles for the sake of convenience, you weaken your own sense of self. You lose the trust of those around you, and you tarnish your own sense of honor. In the long run, the price of dishonesty, deceit, or betrayal is always much higher than the fleeting rewards it may bring in the moment. Maintaining integrity requires strength, courage, and consistency. It's easy to do the right thing when the right thing is obvious or when it's easy to get away with it. The real test comes when doing the right thing is inconvenient, uncomfortable, or unpopular. It requires courage to stand firm in your values when the world is telling you to bend or compromise. But it is in these moments, when you feel the pressure to abandon your principles, that your integrity matters the most. It's when the stakes are high and the path forward is unclear that the daily practice of integrity will determine whether you rise to the occasion or falter. Integrity also requires self-awareness and humility. To act with integrity, you must first be in touch with your own values and beliefs. You must understand what is important to you and why. This requires reflection, introspection, and a willingness to face uncomfortable truths about yourself. Integrity isn't just about adhering to external rules or societal standards. It's about living in alignment with your own deepest values. It means being honest with yourself about your motivations and desires, even when those truths are difficult to confront. The more aware you are of who you truly are, the more capable you will be of acting with integrity in every situation. The purity of heart is also essential when it comes to our relationships with others. In a world where people often hide their true selves behind masks or adopt personas to fit in, authenticity is a rarity. Yet, it is precisely this authenticity that allows for deep, meaningful connections. When you have a pure heart, you are able to offer others the gift of trust, compassion, and understanding. You do not seek to manipulate or control, but instead, you seek to uplift and support. This purity of heart creates a safe space for others to be themselves. and in doing so fosters deeper, more genuine relationships. Purity of heart is not something that can be easily cultivated. It requires consistent effort, self-reflection, and a commitment to personal growth. It requires you to be honest with yourself about your motives, your actions, and your desires. It means regularly examining your heart to ensure that it remains aligned with your highest ideals. This process is not always comfortable, as it often requires confronting parts of yourself that you may not want to face. But this self-awareness is essential in cultivating true strength. It is through this process of self-examination that you gain clarity, that you learn to recognize and correct the misalignments in your heart, and that you grow into the person you were meant to be. One of the greatest challenges to maintaining a pure heart in today's world is the constant pressure to conform. Society often promotes values that are shallow, materialistic, or self-serving. There is a tendency to prioritize success, wealth, and status over kindness, compassion, and authenticity. In the face of these pressures, it can be easy to lose sight of what truly matters. However, true strength lies not in succumbing to these societal expectations, but in staying grounded in your values and remaining true to your heart. This kind of strength is not easily shaken, because it is not dependent on external validation or approval. It comes from within, from a deep understanding of who you are and what you stand for. Purity of heart also means accepting the truth, even when it is difficult or uncomfortable. The heart that is pure is not one that seeks to deceive or hide from the truth, but one that embraces it, no matter how challenging it may be. It means being willing to confront your own flaws and shortcomings and having the humility to learn from your mistakes. It means being open to growth and transformation, even when it requires letting go of old habits or beliefs that no longer serve you. This willingness to face the truth, no matter how difficult, is what ultimately strengthens your character and builds resilience. Ultimately, the purity of heart is the bedrock upon which all other strengths are built. It is what gives you the inner fortitude to overcome life's obstacles, to stay true to your principles, and to lead a life of integrity. It is not a superficial strength that relies on external achievements or appearances, but a deep, unshakable strength that comes from being aligned with what is true and good. When your heart is pure, you are capable of achieving greatness, not just for yourself, but for the world around you. Purity of heart is the foundation of true strength. When we think of strength, we often envision physical power, mental resilience, or the ability to overcome adversity. But true strength, real, lasting strength, is rooted in something deeper. It comes from within, from a purity of heart that allows you to navigate life with clarity, conviction, and integrity. The heart, in this sense, is not merely a symbol of emotion or affection, but the core of your character, your motivations, and your intentions. It is where your deepest values reside. And when your heart is pure, it becomes the guiding force that empowers you to face any challenge with a sense of purpose. Purity of heart does not mean a lack of flaws or imperfections. It does not imply that you are without mistakes or that you will never experience doubt. Instead, it refers to the alignment of your actions, your beliefs, and your intentions with what is true, good, and just. It means having the courage to act with integrity even when it's not the easiest or most popular choice. It means pursuing what is right, even when the world around you may encourage you to do otherwise. In a world that often rewards compromise, selfishness, and manipulation, the purity of heart stands as a radical act of strength. It's a strength that doesn't rely on force or control, but on honesty, authenticity, and a commitment to a higher purpose. The world is full of distractions that can lead us away from our true path. There are constant temptations to compromise, to take shortcuts, or to abandon our principles for the sake of convenience or gain. Yet, when we act in ways that are contrary to our true values, we weaken ourselves. We may experience short-term success or satisfaction, but over time we erode the very foundation of who we are. Purity of heart is what prevents us from falling into these traps. It is the inner compass that keeps us aligned with our deepest convictions, ensuring that we stay true to ourselves even when the external world is pulling us in different directions. This purity is also what enables us to face life's most difficult moments with grace and resilience. Life will inevitably present challenges, hardships, and setbacks. In these moments, it's easy to become disillusioned or tempted to abandon our values in the face of difficulty. However, when your heart is pure, you are able to find strength in your convictions. You don't need to manipulate, deceive, or compromise to get by. You know that true strength lies in remaining steadfast in your principles, even when the path is difficult and the pressure is high. This is not a strength that comes from brute force or manipulation, but from the quiet confidence that comes with knowing that you are aligned with something greater than yourself. In this journey of self-discovery, you must recognize that your personal experiences, perspectives, and talents are not accidents. You were never meant to blend in or to follow a path simply because it is popular or easy. Your life has a distinct purpose, and it is your responsibility to seek it out, nurture it, and live in alignment with it. There will be moments of doubt along the way, times when the road seems unclear or the future uncertain. But this is where your uniqueness becomes your greatest asset. The very things that make you different are the strengths that will guide you through those moments of uncertainty. They are the qualities that will help you create something original, something that can only come from you. Yeah. It's also important to understand that your uniqueness is not something to be hidden or downplayed. In a world that sometimes prizes uniformity, there can be a temptation to suppress parts of yourself that feel out of place or different. You might feel like you need to adjust who you are to fit in or to gain approval from others. But the truth is, when you try to blend in, you rob the world of your full potential. The very things that make you different, your ideas, your passions, your creativity, are what will contribute to a world that desperately needs originality and innovation. By embracing the uniqueness of your journey, you give others permission to do the same. You set an example of what it means to live authentically, which is a powerful thing. As you move forward in your life, it's essential to trust that the path you're on, though sometimes winding or unclear, is the one meant for you. It's easy to get discouraged when you look around and see others seemingly moving forward with greater clarity or success. But the truth is, everyone is on their own timeline. Your journey does not need to look like anyone else's to be valuable or meaningful. The moments of difficulty and uncertainty are often the very moments that shape the most profound transformations. They are the moments when you learn who you truly are and what you are truly capable of. Now, the uniqueness of your journey doesn't just lie in your experiences. It also resides in your response to those experiences. How you navigate your challenges, how you rise after failure, how you grow from adversity, define you. Your perspective, your approach to life, is a reflection of your character, and it is what makes your journey truly yours. Every decision you make, every choice you embrace, brings you closer to becoming the person you were always meant to be. In embracing the uniqueness of your journey, you not only find peace and fulfillment, but you also contribute to a greater collective tapestry of human experience. Every individual journey, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, is part of something much larger. Now, when you walk your path with integrity, courage, and authenticity, you not only honor yourself, but you also inspire others to do the same. Your journey becomes a beacon of light, showing others the power of embracing who they truly are. Embrace the uniqueness of your journey. Every individual has a unique path in life, one that is shaped by a series of experiences, choices, and circumstances that are specific to them. It is crucial to understand that no two journeys are the same, and it is this very uniqueness that defines you. In a world that constantly pushes conformity, where societal pressures often encourage us to fit into predefined molds, the idea of embracing your uniqueness might seem counterintuitive. However, it is precisely by recognizing and honoring your distinct journey that you unlock the power to live authentically and with purpose. We live in a society that values comparison. From a young age, we are taught to measure ourselves against others, whether it's academic achievements, career success, or personal milestone. Social media amplifies this tendency, presenting curated versions of others' lives, often filled with success, happiness, and seemingly flawless images. This external pressure can make it difficult to see the inherent value of our own path. However, the truth is, comparison is a thief. It steals your peace, your joy, and most importantly, it blinds you to the very uniqueness that sets you apart. When you focus on how your journey compares to others, you miss the richness of your own experience. The uniqueness of your journey is woven from the threads of your own personal history. Your upbringing, your family, the places you've lived, the people you've met, and the struggles you've faced all contribute to who you are today. No one else has lived your exact life. These experiences, even the painful ones, have shaped your understanding of the world and your place in it. In the face of adversity, you have developed resilience, wisdom, and a deeper sense of empathy. These are qualities that others cannot replicate, and they form the very foundation of your individuality. As you walk through life, you will encounter moments where the world will try to impose a certain path upon you. There will be expectations, both internal and external, that tell you how you should think, act, or be. It is easy to fall into the trap of following these prescribed paths, of allowing the influence of others to dictate your choices. Yet, when you surrender to these pressures, you deny the very essence of what makes you who you are. To embrace your uniqueness is to resist the urge to conform and instead trust in your own inner compass. It is about making choices that reflect your authentic self, even when they go against the grain. You know, when we look at the world, it often seems chaotic, unpredictable, even unfair. People struggle, they stumble, and they wrestle with their own doubts. But there's something deeper at play here. There's something crucial that, if we truly understand it, can change everything. And that thing is this: God set you apart because your heart is pure.